Congrats, you've now completed the battery maintenance video. Just kidding. But there's no doubt that the maintenance on battery-powered chainsaws is way less than gas-powered. But to truly appreciate your saw for a long time, there are several things you'll need to do. Let's start by covering some of the maintenance required for both gas and battery saws. Obviously, fuel isn't one of them, but you should still use high-quality bar and chain oil for both. Next, you want to double check that your cutting equipment is properly lubricated and that your chain is sharp. Then, you want to confirm the chain tension is correct and bar nuts are tightened. There's a simple trick with a nickel that we recommend, which you can learn about on our chain tensioning video. After that, inspect the chain brake and make sure it's working properly. Then look over the handles to ensure there's no oil on them. And after each use, you should clean all the external parts of the chainsaw with a soft brush or a rag. Try to remove as much debris as possible. Be sure the trigger and throttle lockout are still working properly. Check and clean the chain to make sure it's working properly. Check the chain catcher to confirm it's securely mounted to the saw and not damaged. Now on to cutting equipment, which means you need your gloves on. With the guide bars, make sure bar grooves and oil ports are not blocked. Inspect the edges for burrs and remove with a bar dressing tool or flat file if necessary. Next, examine the tip and make sure the sprocket moves freely. Make sure to rotate the guide bar after each cleaning to extend the life of the bar. Moving on to the chain. Inspect it for cracks and tie straps, drive links, and cutters. Just so you know, the chain should be flexible, not stiff. At the end of every day, or when dull, you should sharpen the chain with the correct file and roller guides. Make sure to maintain proper cutting height using a depth gauge and flat file. The sharper the chain, the better the performance, the better the battery life. Replace the chain when the cutting tooth is worn, usually highlighted by the witness mark on the chain at 4 millimeters. Feel free to check out our video on Chain Sharp. Just a few more things before you call it a day. Check the chain drive sprocket for wear and tear. If you've ever had issues with leaking oil, you're not alone, but there are a few things to help. First, running it out so you're not leaving any in the reservoir. When you're done, turn the saw on its side, open the cap slightly to relieve the pressure. Another tip is that you never need to fill the oil to full. 3/4 full will be enough. Now, let's review what's unique to maintaining a battery-powered chainsaw. First, you're going to clean the air intake where the starter housing would be on a petrol saw. Make sure the ducts and air intake fins are clear, since this helps keep the battery and motor stay cool. Ensure the keypad works correctly. Be sure all hardware is in place and tightened. Regarding storage, you should always put the battery in a place that's dry and free from moisture and frost and between 41 and 77 degrees Fahrenheit. Don't keep the battery in a metal box. Don't store near fuel or flammable materials. Make sure to charge the battery between 30 to 50%, which is like a few bars, before you store it for a long period of time. Also, not everyone realizes that you should store the battery and charger in separate places. Every month or so, there are a few more key tasks you should do. First, clean and check the brake band on the chain brake. Blow through the product and battery cooling slots gently with compressed air. Check the connections between the battery and product, as well as check the connections between the battery and the charger. Clean terminals internally with a cotton swab. Last but not least, empty the oil tank, replace it with fresh bar and chain oil to ensure your chainsaw runs as smooth as possible. Remember, 3/4 full is full. And in case you don't know how to do something that we mentioned in this video, don't sweat it. Everything is covered in the operator's manual. Until next time.